Hello, welcome back to the warm down. Aston Villa 2, Burnley 1. Yes, welcome back to the channel. Aston Villa are now 7 games unbeaten with 4 wins, 3 draws, 10 goals, only 4 against in the last 7. And it's nice to be where we are currently. I am chuffed to bits with the results. Maybe not so much the performance today, especially. It was decent without being outstanding, and there are still things to work on, which I'm sure Unai knows all about. And if you are new around here, please subscribe to the channel, get involved in the comments, and drop this video a like. Right, let's have a little bit of a look about this game. As I say, result was all that mattered. Performance was solid, if unspectacular. Still things to work on, still things that we have to improve on. Disappointing we conceded, if I'm honest, but I am chuffed to bits for Daniel Marlon. I think he has waited a long time to have a performance like that and be the hero. 2 really good goals. We'll get into that in a minute. But I'm just pleased. I'm pleased where we are. We're going into another godforsaken international break now, but to go into it off the back of 4 wins in a row in a much, much happier place than we were even a couple of weeks ago. And we can now all breathe a sigh of relief, get into the break, and then concentrate on what is going to be a really difficult return after we come back with 3 Premier League fixtures that are tough, but we're hopefully going into them with pretty fit squad, I would think, by them, and in decent enough form without being outstanding. But hopefully we can just claw that back little by little as we go on through the next few weeks. And with another couple of weeks working behind the scenes, hopefully everyone comes back off international duty fit and firing, and then we can just worry about that after. But for now, let's have a look at this game here. So, yes, 2-1 Villa. I'm not going to dwell too much on these statistics. I'm going to try and have a look at the goals in a minute. Villa pretty much dominated possession, even though in the first half, I think, especially Burnley did have a little bit of the ball, to be fair. I think if you look at this here, Burnley 48%. I mean, we've seen us dominate possession in loads of the games early on and not do anything with it. So I'm quite happy with the 50-50. That's not the big thing that matters at the moment. 8 shots in the first half, 7 in the second. So pretty rounded game, to be honest. And overall, 15 shots on target. The keeper made 1 save. Their keeper had a really good game. I mean, if it weren't for him, it could have been 3 or 4. Yeah, 55% possession overall. Marlon, I would agree, man of the match. Pretty straightforward, in my opinion. The only disappointing thing was conceding that goal, but we'll get into that in a sec. Let's have a look at the average positions. Yeah, pretty solid, to be honest. Consa there, Torres there. Boubacar Kamara and baby Boubacar, I'm going to call him now. He reminds me so much of Kamara now. Does Bogard, that it's scary. His composure on the ball just improving all the time. Luka Dean and Matty Cash out here. Yeah, and you know, really, Marlon was playing as the striker really for a lot of the game, and I did notice that Ollie Watkins was dropping off a little bit with Rodgers here, McGinn helping out as he does, which is why I think the manager likes to see him in that front right role. No, not many people like to see him there now, especially when he's been so good in the double pivot recently. But I still think there is a job for him to do in that right-hand side role of 3 in behind Ollie, because I think he just adds this extra dimension to our midfield, and I think he just drops in, as you can see here in this graphic, where he just sits there and helps out a lot, which allows Rodgers, Watkins and Marlon to be our main attacking outlet, if you like, out there. So let's have a quick look. I tell you what I did do. This is the league table. Let me get the right one. Right, this is the league table. Let's take this off so you can see. After 4 games, right? 2 home, 2 away, 4 games, no wins, 2 draws, 2 losses, no goals, 4 goals against, 2 points after 4 games. We was not in a good place. 3 games later, we are now pushed right up the table from 19th into 13th. 2 home games, 4 away, 3 away, 4 home. Get that right. So 4 at home, 2 wins, draw and a loss, 3 away, 2 draws and a loss away from home. So overall, now it looks a lot better with 2 wins, 3 draws, only 2 losses. So if you look at that, Liverpool have lost 2 already, and they won the league last year. So, everybody is beating everybody. There's only really the bottom 3 now, Burnley, West Ham and Wolves, who have lost 5 out of the 7. Out of this bottom half, sort of from 10th downwards, I think Newcastle, Brighton and us have lost the least. So whilst it hasn't been a brilliant start to the season, I think we're just about evening out now. And I always say 10 games is where we can really look at where we are. And given we've got Spurs, City and Liverpool the next 3, these points that we've got in the last 3 games are massive. 9 points, league table's very tight and concertinaed up. We're only, 2 points now away from 6th Chelsea, 3 points away from Palace in 5th. A handful and a decent run of form, and we can really push into these positions up here again between 6th and 10th, I think, which is where I think we're going to be this season. Between 6th and 10th at the moment is unless we can have a really good run. And as I said, the 3 fixtures after the international break are going to be really, really interesting to see where we are at with our form. And hopefully we can take a bit of confidence into that with what we've done so far. So now I'm going to have a quick look at the goals, and we'll have a talk through the big key moments in the game. So I'm going to bring up now my little tactical pad. So this 25th minute, and this is the build-up to Daniel Marlin's first goal, and I thought it was a really good goal. I really did. And I think I want to I've tracked it back to this because there's a player that we all know is struggling for form and confidence, and that is Morgan Rogers. But he has a big hand in both of these goals. I didn't go back too far, but if you can see here, he really does well to win the ball back. Here, this is Rogers. That's terribly done, that is. You can tell I haven't done this for a bit. So this is Rogers here. So he wins the ball back in this corner area here. Marlon is here. I think it's really poor defensively from Burnley as well. I think they're just leaving a huge gap here between the central defender and the left back. And Marlon is doing what all decent forwards do, is just patrolling in between 2 defenders, looking for that bit of space, that if the ball does break free, he can be on the run immediately and looking to run this way, which is exactly what he does. So Rogers does really well here. He battles 2 or 3 players and then lays it off to Boubacar Kamara, who's always in a nice bit of space, isn't he? He's always looking around him and thinking, how can I just get that bit of space and receive the ball? And again, Marlon just here, look, holding himself on line. He's in a good position, good body shape as well for a forward, just looking across the line, making sure he's not going to be offside. Kamara then receives the ball and just turns away. And to be fair to Morgan Rogers, he's looking for the return ball here as well. So he's thinking, I've given it to Boubacar, just roll me in here. And if Kamara had rolled him in there, you probably would have said fair enough. But he just decides to do it himself, because I think if the ball goes into Rogers, then Rogers probably takes 1 or 2 touches, and then might be even looking himself just to feed the ball across here to where the run is. But the obvious pass, and he takes it on, and it's just a good pass, isn't it? He's a great player, Boubacar Kamara, and I think Marlon makes it for him because he just has one quick look up. He's scanning the pitch. Once he receives it, he's thinking, I've got just a nice long through ball in there. And again, the defender is totally out of position. And then it's all down to Marlon then. Can he get in on goal? Can he make this chance count? And I think he does fantastically well. To be fair, the defender, he does come across and he closes him down fantastic. And at this point here, you're thinking, has he lost his chance? Has he lost the opportunity to get a shot away? Because I was sort of expecting the defender to either lunge in, which is difficult because once you get into the box, you're then obviously risking the penalty. But he does really well, Marlon. He takes one touch, gets himself in the box, and from a really acute angle, sliding in, there's only one place he can put that, isn't there? Which is back across the keeper. And it's just a really good finish. Honestly, it's a really, really good finish from a player that has struggled for minutes this season and struggled for time on the pitch. I think he takes it really, really well. And he just shows the kind of player we have got and the capability that he has got. And he does show. This is another good angle of the pass from Kamara. And again, I'm going to highlight this. I think it's terrible defending. Look at the gap. You can drive probably 3 double-decker buses through there. So it's terrible defending. Nobody in this midfield area here as well. If you look at this, look at how much space there is here for him to work in. I mean, there's just acres, isn't there? But it still means you've got to put a super ball through, which he does. Feeds it lovely into Marlon's run. Marlon's looking across the line. He's never offside. And he goes on and finishes it beautifully. Then we move on to the second goal in the 63rd minute. And my mate here, Boubacar, baby Boubacar, he picks the ball up here. And again, poor defending for me. I think it's shocking. Look at this here. That's a terrible attempt again at a. I think I need to start over here, don't I? Right, that's a terrible attempt. Let's try one more, and then I'm going to give up. Right, there's a huge amount of space here, isn't there? Absolute acres of space here. I think he can basically pick his own as much space as he wants here. And it's all down to, again, good movement and good play from Bogard. Pretty simple ball, straight through into Morgan Rogers, who again got the pre-assist. I'm not a big fan of pre-assists, but he did get the pre-assist for the first goal. And then he's off on his bike. And again, acres of space to run into. He's got loads of room here. Again, all he's got to do is just find himself in here. And then another lovely bit of play from Marlon. He's found himself again, this gap here in between 2 defenders, which he did perfectly well for the first goal. And he's just thinking now, what is Morgan going to do? I need to give him an option. To be fair, he's got 2 options here. He runs into this gap. Great. Does this defender engage him? He's got an option here of Ollie Watkins, who's on the shoulder of the right back. And you've got Marlon, who is finding another bit of space in between the left back and the left central defender. So Morgan Rogers, rightly so, drives at the heart of the defence, and then he's got the decision to make. What does he do? Does he slide the ball in, maybe here, and trying to play in behind for Ollie Watkins to run onto, or does he just play into feet because he's got a nice little bit of space? And that's the option he chooses. Again, it just shows Marlon's footballing IQ there. He's got himself into another lovely little position there. And then once again, once it's through to Marlon, it is a brilliant finish, to be fair. I don't think this angle does it justice. I think the angle from the other side does it fantastic justice because he just takes one touch, doesn't let the defender get anywhere near him, and then he's really got to go across the keeper here. But it is a brilliant finish. He's sort of hard and low into the bottom corner, and it just ripples the side of the net in. I used to play up front, obviously nowhere near this standard, but the coach I used to get coached by always used to say, as a forward, if you can hit the side netting here or here, then generally you're going to score. And I know what he means, because if you hit anywhere here or here, then the keeper's not got a chance, has he? Because they're generally going to be sitting and trying to narrow the angle down by sorting their angles out. So he's gone pretty much near post here. So he's gone across the goal, and it's a really, really good finish again from Marlon. Just hits it straight across the keeper. 2 fantastic finished goals, and I'm hoping it's going to just kickstart him now into having a really, really good season for Villa. Right, the goal we conceded, disappointing. I was really disappointed with this. And I think 2 things I've picked up on here. One is this, which you can probably see here, which is, let's see if I can do a better highlight reel, or maybe this here, is Emi Martinez. To be fair, he does well. I'm not sure who this is here, but he does really well to put Emi Martinez off. Now, Emi Martinez there is more concentrating far more on him than he is on patrolling this area here, right? That's my opinion. Okay, he should be dominating this area here, and he doesn't. He just concentrates solely on the defender who's doing his job, putting him off, which is no problem at all. That's what he's there to do, is to put Emi Martinez off. And I think that's where the first big mistake is. The second big mistake is you've got Ezri Konsa here, but he's trying to sort him out, and ultimately the player that scores the goal, him out. So he's got 2 players in the middle of the box to defend and to mark, and then you've got Rodgers here. It looks like he's looking at somebody. I'm not sure who Pau Torres is marking, and Boubacar Kamara here is just literally sitting. And I'm not sure what he's doing either, to be honest, because I can't get the bigger area here now. But you would imagine they should all be picking people up, but I don't know why Pau Torres isn't picking him up, and I don't know why Kamara isn't dropping in and maybe picking him up. Maybe Ezri Konsa could have spoke more, said more. But with Martinez being distracted, Ezri Konsa's got 2 players here. He's got his left arm on him, and he's the player that comes and eventually scores the goal. If we just roll it on a couple of things there, Martinez, then the ball is just about to be played in, and now Emi decides to push the player away because he doesn't want to be anywhere near him. He wants to make sure he's got that free space to make a decision whether he wants to come for it or not. But just that split second, he chooses to push the player away. It's just enough to put him off. And then he sidesteps to the right. And then by the time he's squared up, he, to be fair to him, he's got a lot of space there. And I do believe if he doesn't push that player and he doesn't get sidetracked by it, he literally comes and just cleans that out. He either catches it or punches it clear. And Konsa doesn't do enough for me there. I think he's got to climb and try and win the header. It's pretty much, I mean, if you go back to here, they're pretty close. And I know he's sort of got the run on him. Konsa's static, and it's easier to head the ball when you've got a run on someone. But I still think it's a poor goal to concede. And once he's got the header there, it's just good. It's good forward play, to be honest, because you're told if you can get in on goal, what you do, you head down. Always head down, because it's very difficult to adjust your body. And it just goes, he tries to close his legs at the last second, but he can't do anything about it. So it was a bit disappointing to concede, and it did put a little bit of extra pressure on us at the end of the game. But we got over the line, and that's all that matters. So things are improving. Right, I wanted to try something else in this one. I won't keep you much longer. I want to try and do my analysis ratings with you. So I'm just going to try and set it up. Right, I'm back. Now, I've tried to set this up so you can see. So this is the Finalysis app that I have to rate on after every single game. And what it does, it shows you the player, and it gives you a sliding bar here. And what you do is you just slide it up, and you go from 100 to 0. So you just give them a mark out of 100. Okay. So I'm just going to, you do also put a player review in, but I won't do that now. I'm just going to give you my thoughts on my, so essentially it's 0 to 10, but they're just timed it by 10. So a 70 is a 7 out of 10. So, Emi Martinez. And also you can see here, it gives you some of the statistics. So 90 minutes, 1 save, 52 passes, 42 accurate passes. It's a bit bright there, so you're not sure you can see that well, but I won't do that. So Martinez, for me, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. No, 65. We're going to go for a 65 for Emi Martinez. Matty Cash, I don't think he did anything particularly wrong. I think he was solid enough. So I'm just going to go for a 7 out of 10. I think a 7 out of 10 is always a solid game for everybody. Ezri Konsa, again, I'm going to go for a 7.5. Didn't do anything wrong. I think the clean sheet has ruined it for me for the defenders. Luca Dean, again, got a yellow card. You know what? That could have been a red, to be fair. He could have definitely had a red for that. So I think he would be disappointed. So let's see if I can do that. I think we'll go with a 7 for Luca Dean. Pau Torres didn't do anything wrong particularly. So we'll do another one. We'll just have a 7 out of 10. We've got Lamar Bogard, Baby Booba. Excellent, I thought, again today. Did absolutely nothing wrong. We'll go for a 7.5 out of 10. Kamara, again, decent. So 7.5. John McGinn, I mean, not as good as he has been. Obviously, recently he's been scoring goals and everything, but I think he did a job on that right-hand side. So I'm happy to go with a 7.74 for John McGinn. Daniel Marlin. Now, this is a pretty obvious one. 84 minutes, 2 goals. For me, man of the match. Really pleased for the guy, and I'm going to go with a 90 out of 100 for him. Right, an assist and a pre-assist. I'm going to say 17. That's probably one of my highest marks for him this season. Ollie Watkins, disappointing today. Didn't do a lot. Couple of shots. Could have done better. I think we'll go for a 65, so 6.5. And then you rate the manager. Did nothing wrong particularly. Shuffled the pack again today. Took a little bit of a risk leaving some form players out like Emi Buendia. But ultimately, 4 wins in a row, 7 unbeaten, not a lot to help. And then you can obviously write the the substitutions as well. And at the end, you write your match review. So there you go. That's my ratings for the Villa players. Let me know what you think, and we'll just finish off now. So there you go. That's my ratings on Finalysis. I will be filling out the rest of it afterwards. And that's it from me. A decent performance without being unbelievably brilliant. But given where we were only a handful of weeks ago, I am more than happy to be where we are today. Yes, we've got things to do. Yes, we've got things to build on. Yes, we've got to improve in certain areas still. But we have now created a platform to build from over the next few weeks and months. And it was always going to be a difficult season, but we've got a little bit of stability now. We've got that little foothold in the season with players slowly coming back to form. So it's time now, couple of weeks off, build a little bit after during this break, go away, recharge the batteries. I mean, Barkley's back, Anana's back. I would think Tielemans will be fairly close after the international break as well. So squad-wise, we're looking okay. We've just got to really stick together, and I think we'll be okay this season. We know it was going to be a difficult season, but still, I'm very hopeful we can do something special this season. So thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It means a hell of a lot to me if you do. Drop this video a like, get involved in the comment section. What did you think of the Finalysis ratings? Did you like that? The goals, my discussion of the goals. Just trying to do something a little bit different. I don't like these to be too long because I like people to be able to just consume them quite quickly, give my opinion, and then all have a great weekend, which we all will now because of Mighty Villa have won. So thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon. Phone in tomorrow night again with a back of a win. And I look forward to speaking to some of you tomorrow. If you're new, come on, give us a call. Hopefully that'll be something to look forward to tomorrow night. And if you want to get in touch with me, here it is, Justin Talks Villa at yahoo.com. And I'll speak to you all again very soon.